Hey guys, and welcome back to a very sunny, very windy Cape Town. So apologies for the cap, the glasses and the occasional wind noise, but I do have very limited time with a very special car. Yesterday I was handed the keys to this Bentley Continental GT Speed. This is the full fat 900 Newton meters of torque, 485 kilowatt British bomber. It's loaded with all the luxuries, and so the price at base spec is around 5 million. But this car as it stands here is probably closer to around 5.5 or maybe even a little bit higher than that. Is it really worth all that money? I guess that's what the next 4 days will tell. Okay, so I am at my preferred dynamic test route. Now when you start the Bentley up, it goes into Bentley mode, it's just a B. I assume it is a kind of a mix of comfort and sport, which Bentley feels is most suitable for everyday scenarios. There is a comfort mode where it just wafts a little bit more, and then there's a sport mode which firms up the adaptive suspension, and then there's a custom mode where you can sort of tweak everything to your own liking. I'm just going to switch it all to sport and select manual on the transmission. It's worth noting though that even though it's in manual, when you hit the red line it's going to shift automatically, and because you're going to be going at such a rate of knots, I think it's actually a good thing because you arrive at corners very quickly. Okay, let's see what this 2.2 ton 485 kilowatt 900 Newton meters monster can do. Yo, even got a little bit of wheel spin there. So this car's got the ceramic brakes as well. Not a squeak from them yet, but just immense stopping power, and you need it because this thing carries a lot of momentum into the corners. You just got so much power to play with, and then so much grip to use that power. Good grief! And this is a very bumpy road, I don't know if you've noticed, but it manages to retain traction in sport mode massively well. It does allow for a little bit of slip and a little bit of a chirp of the tires, just to let you know that you're pushing it, which is really good. The steering, yeah, I don't think you can expect like Lamborghini like precision and sharpness and those kind of things in a Bentley, but you know, it's got pleasant enough weighting, and it's certainly not unpleasant. It's just, you know, there's not a lot of fuel coming through the wheel, but that is kind of par for the course for this kind of car. You've got a lot to concentrate on while you drive because yeah, it just pulls speed up so very, very quickly. But what I think is more impressive than, you know, it's 3.6 seconds 0 to 100 and it's 335 kilometers per hour top speed. What's more impressive than that is its overtaking punch. So you slow down to third or maybe even second, doing about 80, and you put your foot down. It's pretty immediate, the catapulting effect, and very addictive as well. Welcome to the spectacular cabin of the Bentley Continental GT Speed. Now, when you buy a Bentley Continental GT Speed, part of the experience and part of what you pay for really is the speccing process, because what really happens is you build your dream Bentley basically, you know, along what your imagination tells you. And I must say the person who spec'd this particular car did a fantastic job. I think this is how I would like my Bentley Continental GT Speed to be spec'd. A very nice mixture of your traditional Bentley elements. So you've got lovely hide, two hides. You've got a primary hide, which is your hot spur in this instance, and the secondary hide, which is called Beluga. And then in terms of veneer, instead of the traditional wood, we've got a gloss carbon fiber finish. And there's also, like, you know, the suede and the LED mood lighting, which is optional. And this beautiful diamond stitched pattern in the doors. And then your, yeah, lots of chrome. Organ stops, of course, for the ventilation controls, typically Bentley, and a beautiful Bentley clock. And then in terms of your more modern conveniences, obviously this car has a lot of features, a lot of high-tech features. I wouldn't say it's right at the cutting edge, for example, in terms of its camera system necessarily, or any of those things, but it's certainly has all the bells and whistles. This car also has the comfort front seat package, so ventilated and heated and with massaging. And in terms of car massages, this car gives a pretty good massage. The infotainment screen, or the system on its own, is, you know, it's pretty straightforward. It's similar to what you would find in a top-end Audi or Volkswagen and the likes, as you would expect. But what I do like is once you've set up everything that the way that you want it, you can go to a more traditional layout. And I really think, it's optional by the way, this is a very nice touch. Build quality, rock solid. Also an optional extra is the panoramic roof. So it doesn't open or tilt even. It's just this screen slides away and you get more light into the cabin. Speaking of light, as I said, the ambient mood lighting is optional. And it's really quite spectacular at night. It gives the car that sort of upmarket cigar lounge vibe. You've got this beautiful ring of light around the front passenger and the driver. Also fitted to this car is named for Bentley sound, and that means the sound comes through you basically. The speakers are positioned in a way that it feels like the sound comes through the seat, which is, yeah, it's certainly a new experience for me. When I think of a Bentley Continental GT Speed, I think of your typical Continent Crusher. And this car has a touring specification as well, so even more so. I would say that it is really a two-seater luxury jet basically on the ground, because the rear seats are really... My daughter is 10 years old, she's very petite, and she struggled for legroom in the back. The boot is a decent size, but I think the back seat's really going to double as extra packing space. And once you've packed up, got your golf clubs in there, hit the open road. Yeah, I don't think there are many cars that will give you a similar kind of experience of luxury and just also that effortless power. Truly special. You know, I do find reviewing cars like this Bentley Continental GT Speed quite tricky. Because ultimately I think my opinion doesn't really matter. It's really one of those cars that you buy because you want to have a Bentley Continental GT Speed. And so when I put my consumer journalism hat on, things don't work really with these kind of cars, because for between 5 and 6 million rand, there are cars with more luxury, there are cars with more tech, there are cars that are faster, there are even cars that ride better or are more luxurious. But I think if you try to evaluate a car like this against the measurables that usually apply in consumer motoring journalism, then you miss the point of this car. And so I don't think it really matters what I think of this car, really. I honestly don't. I think if you're watching this video and you're kind of struggling to make a decision, you know, whether the Bentley Continental GT is the car for you, I don't think I'm the one to tell you. I think you need to go and look at one. You need to go and play with the configurator and spec it the way that you would like to spec a Bentley Continental GT, because that's part of the appeal of a car like this. Is it is something unique. It's a piece of art, and you can be part of creating it, because you can get on that configurator and you can have a lot of fun and make something truly special. So would I buy it if I had the money? I don't know, I can't even imagine what it is like to have that amount of money to play with, but certainly as one of the cars in my garage, something that you can get in every day, which is comfortable to drive every day, which is comfortable to do long distances in. It's very appealing. So yeah, if you are actually considering buying a Bentley Continental GT, the only thing that I can really say is you're bloody lucky.